Okay, hello craft beer fans. It's Jeremy here from craftbeeradvocate.co.uk, and well, St Patrick's Day is fast approaching, and typically this is just a big Guinness fest for everyone to celebrate Irish and just the look of the Irish and everything like that. I know a lot of people tend to go big on this, and Guinness, you got to collect those hats, get those badges, everything like that. But for me, I kind of want to take a different take on it. I want to look at the alternative craft beer stouts that you might be able to enjoy with this. And as such, today I've kind of got three here. So what I have is I have Peg Leg from Heavy Seas in Baltimore, Maryland. I also have Chocolate by Southern Tier Brewing in Lakewood, New York. And I also have Yeti by Great Divide Brewing Co. coming out of Denver, Colorado. So let's get started with this. For me, St Patrick's Day is great noise out of that one. Is one of the best days of the year. With an Irish wife as well, it's absolutely perfect time to celebrate. I feel I can get involved with it a lot more than as if I was just a UK citizen. Right, so here we go. So Peg Leg. Imperial Stout coming in quite high, so that's typically anywhere over 8.5 to probably around 12.5, 13% ABV. So what you can see there, it's actually fairly low on the carbonation, as you'd expect from a stout, a very dark colour, slightly brown head on that as opposed to the white that we see with Guinness, and so that means they've probably used something like a malted like black patent or chocolate malt or something like that, as opposed to roasted barley, which is what is typically used in Guinness. So, okay, getting a bit of raisin out of that straight away. So stone fruits as well. Chocolate, toffee. Oh yeah, it smells really good. So, okay. Good mouthfeel on it, nice full body to it as you'd expect from a high ABV beer. Lots of caramel and toffee flavour coming through in that. Starting to get a bit of bitterness from the hops. So quite mild though on the hop front, mainly about the malts and the malt characteristic in this. Some chocolate as well. Yeah, good. A little bit of stone fruit, kind of almost like plummy character in there as well, is what I get from that. Really great beer, great brewery operating out of Baltimore. Local home state kind of brewery for me, so if I see them, I do tend to try and give them a try as well. Okay, next up we're going to go for Chocolat, I think, from Southern Tier. Okay, this is sounding a bit more carbonated, so we'll see how that goes in terms of head retention and things. Okay. So wow, yeah, look at that. Nice size head on that, good retention, good carbonation. Wow, that is seriously chocolatey, as you would expect from the name, but probably much more than I was anticipating. That is the initial hit, but then when you get behind that, you tend to get a little bit of vanilla from this, is what I'm picking out. Very kind of mild toffee in that as well, and those kind of toffee notes are quite characteristic of stout as well. So, very creamy mouthfeel, so it kind of coats your whole palate. Very chocolate forward, as you'd expect. Super crushable actually, considering it's a high ABV. I think it's around 10%, something like that. So yeah, that'll sneak up on you. That's for sure, especially when you've got something that's as big as this. I think, what kind of ounceage is this on it? So I think this is 22 ounce. Yeah, so 650 ml for anyone who's not who's used to UK kind of size and measurements. But yeah, great kind of vanilla coming through at the end of that. Very different to the Peg Leg. Very different, but extremely good at the same time. Wow. Yeah, nice medium bitterness to it. Super enjoyable. So the third one is Yeti from Great Divide in Denver, Colorado. So they do an oatmeal stout version of this as well. But again, another imperial. I tell you what, you American craft brewers sure as hell aren't afraid to pump the ABV up on these. I'll tell you that. Crikey. Gonna have to develop a stronger liver to get through some of these sometimes. So there we go. If you can see that, slightly darker in the head there than the other two. Again, classic stout kind of color, very opaque black sort of color to it. Okay, so this smells a bit more hoppy. So decent sort of hop sort of aroma to that. Wasn't expecting that at all. Again, sort of some berry characteristic to it. I think almost like black currants for me, blackberries. Probably a little less mouthfeel in comparison to the other two. Cleans off your palate pretty quickly. Definitely a good hop aroma to that and kind of hop taste characteristic as well. So a little bit dank, as you'd expect from having some hops in there. Bitterness is fairly high on this, which is actually quite enjoyable. It goes quite well with the roast characteristics of the stout that in the malts that have been used for it. Yeah, I can imagine the oatmeal stout of this is fantastic. Add a bit of mouthfeel from having all those oats in there and things like that as well. But it is really, really good. So I'm hoping that, well, actually, I'm going to probably enjoy several of these over the, in fact, all of them over the St. Patrick's Day celebrations. Hopefully, you guys will be able to go out and find something that's an alternative to Guinness. Give it a go. Support your local kind of guys as well. And yeah, no, enjoy it basically. It comes around once a year, so why not celebrate with it and things like that. If you like what you're seeing, please hit the subscribe button on this. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback below in terms of what do you want to see, what are your thoughts, what stouts are you actually going to be enjoying on St. Patrick's Day that aren't Guinness as well. And let me know via the comments box below or on social media, Twitter, so @craftbeerjeremy, or on Facebook, so facebook.com/craftbeeradvocate. I'd love to hear from you, and yeah, enjoy. Thanks very much.